At Ritual, we know what goes into the holiday season: the potluck planning, the gift giving, the spreadsheets. So this new year, take a moment for yourself with science backed support that puts you first. So, whether you're focusing on supporting foundational health with a clean vegan multivitamin or supporting your gut health with Symbiotic Plus, do it with 30% off your first month at ritual.com/podcast. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is going to be a wonderful week. Have you seen the frickin' weather?
Oh, I know. This is like a turnaround.
Big time, big time.
We spring it in the action.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, welcome to the Crankers.
We're going to get spoiled this week. I hope. Oh, man.
Know. I'm already excited. I mean, the weather is taking a big change, and we have mic issues, but I'm dealing with it.
In a good way.
It is, because we're springing forward, folks.
Is it springing forward?
I think so. I think we're getting ready to spring forward, unfortunately. I hate that time change.
Yeah, I do too. We need to get rid of it.
I agree.
But, so it's February 24th. Everybody in the Ozarks have been brutalized this winter, right?
Oh, my goodness.
I'm talking high cost of food. I'm talking, it costs a lot to heat your home.
Right.
More snow than I remember seeing down here in 10 years.
Yeah, it's the most snow I've seen since I moved down here.
Cold weather.
In 19, I think it was 19 when I moved down here.
Yeah, well, yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of these things, and it's only February 24th.
Yeah.
What's really going to happen? I mean, February, March. March, we usually have some pretty favorable weather.
Yeah, we do.
I'm just hoping.
I just hope we don't get none of those tornadoes.
I want the hot mama to come back. And I'm talking about Missouri.
I want a hot mama to come too.
I'll tell you what, we're pretty lucky. Missouri State women's basketball, let's hear all about it.
Yeah, doing really good.
Yeah, they're nationally ranked.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty awesome. So is Mizzou.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Pretty wild.
I almost feel like Mizzou, because they put together some pretty good teams.
They do.
Okay, Missouri State does too, but, this year it's like this is Mizzou's time to shine.
Must be because they started shining in football a few years back.
Well, they did, and then now we're watching it in basketball. And I don't know, some of the stories that come out or things like, here's one. How Missouri basketball is handling newfound national attention.
Do
you think it's really newfound?
Yeah, it probably is for us new timers. I'm sure the old timers could tell you about their good team.
Well, they're always on the radar.
Yeah.
Like usually, not every year, but, every college has this, but usually Mizzou is always one of those teams you don't, look past.
Right.
They've been spoilers how many times?
Quite often, especially in college football.
That's what I'm saying. And, for people, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
What do you mean newfound national attention? Yes, they're getting a lot of attention right now because they're ranked 15th.
Yep. And I think they're going to see that with a lot of teams we haven't seen before.
Well, yeah,
with the new college pay and all that. So.
Yeah. Yeah. The NIL.
I know you're not all happy with it. I'm not all happy with the NIL either. I think it needs to be distributed evenly, but.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing. A lot of good college kids.
Yeah.
They get injured where they can't go on to professional whatever, and they have an injury. Even if they weren't going to go on to professional sports.
They could get redshirted.
Well, they could do something.
Yeah.
And it hinders them because of these injuries. So, do I think that they should be able to collect while they can? Well, yes, I do. But on the same token, I think that what you have seen here are the big money-backed college teams and campuses that have huge alumni.
Yep.
They were able to go out, and they're able to get players now that these smaller teams can't do. They just
and I really this is where I understand where people get angry, but I think that's where it comes down to. The bigger the alumni you have, the more competitive you can be in college ball.
But should it be that way?
It's whoever can raise the most money,
Okay, well, let me ask you something. We're both Mizzou fans, but, you go back to our old hometowns, and, you're a Ohio State fan.
Oh, yeah.
I'm also a Badgers fan. I kind of like a few teams, especially college. College is, to me, better than pro.
Yeah, in college you can afford to root for more than one college. I do that too. I'll root back home. I'll root for Xavier, UC,
right,
and Ohio State.
UC. Now those people, until a couple of years ago, you could have said, "Well, how is the University of Cincinnati handling the national attention?"
Right.
Up until, what was it, 5 years ago,
Yeah.
they really started coming on the scene.
Yep, back on the scene. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I can see it, but it is what it is.
It is.
Anyways, it's National Trading Card Day. Do you, or have you ever traded cards?
I sure have.
Really? What did you trade?
I've traded baseball cards for baseball cards.
So you were a big baseball card guy?
Oh, yes. Yeah, and basketball and football.
You never got like any of the old rookie cards that are worth millions and stuff?
I never had none that were worth millions. If I did, I'd be a radio broadcaster 20 or 30 years ago. But, yeah.
See, okay, so you know how some people have good luck, like even on like TikTok and YouTube, they've got these lives now where they're just opening up baseball cards, and these guys know their stuff. Well, this is what this one is. This is what this. Okay.
Yep.
If I was that person, okay, and I got a $4 million card, I would probably have the misprint or the one that was, printed wrong.
Yep.
That wasn't worth any money.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. So
I had the Cal Ripken one, but I didn't have the right one. The one where it's got the cuss words on the ball bat.
Yeah.
Remember that card?
Yeah, I do.
Yep, back in the 80s.
That was kind of a famous, or should I say infamous card.
Infamous card, and that's a hard one to find.
If you could have a card, like, forget about the money.
Yeah.
Just out of the love of trading cards, what would it be?
Michael Jordan's. I love the Michael Jordan cards.
You want a
like
Jordan
all the
card?
different poses that they had on, like his slam dunk one and all that, from the free throw line. That's just.
Well, see, here on the show, we're going to start supporting the St. Louis Blues because this whole Canada-America thing really got me going.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, literally, it got me going. Like, I kind of thought that the last game was FUBARD.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, overtime to 2-3, and we were up 2-1. Whatever. It's a game.
Yeah.
Okay. However, the harassment that we have got to our friendly northern neighbors shunned down to us makes me want to support American hockey. And if I'm going to support American hockey, it might as well be from the wonderful state of Missouri. What do you think about that?
I agree. And I just read an article yesterday about Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey from the Niners said that it should have been a best out of 3.
Yeah, well, I think so too. But,
It is what it is.
The St. Louis Blues, I bet you we can get a whole deck full of just Blues trading cards. What do you think?
Oh, that would be awesome.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And because we're here in Missouri, maybe what we can do is we can ship it off over to them and see if we can get some autographs.
Right.
And then that can be some prizes for the show.
Hey, most certainly.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be awesome.
It's National Tortilla Chip Day, kind of,
Yeah, I'm not a big tortilla guy.
I love tortilla chips in the restaurant.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I want them warm.
Yeah, if they ain't warm, I don't want them.
And I want to go, okay, I love the Mexican food places that bring you more than one dip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like some people like the clear stuff with the vegetables in it, and then they usually have the verde. I think it is. It's the green one, and then the regular one. And then some of them even like, well, this one's mild and this one's hot.
Right.
Now, I know you. You had the one chip challenge. You took it, the Pocky one chip challenge. How'd that feel?
I still feel the effects today. And that's been years ago.
Yeah, that was a few years ago.
Yeah, it was a few years back, about 3.
But I got to tell you, folks, if you know what Gred looks like, big, tall, red, strapping, middle-aged man.
6'4".
And if you could have watched him eat that Pocky chip, now usually you can't shut him up. I mean, he just talk, right?
Yeah, I could. I talk your ear off.
So we're videoing it, and maybe we'll bring that out one of these days. And you didn't have much to say except for, how much time has it been?
Yeah.
That's all you had to
and
say.
I wish I didn't drink this milk.
It's Twin Peaks Day, but not the Twin Peaks you're thinking.
I know.
It's World Bartender Day. Okay.
Oh.
So, you know what? Here's the thing. Up home, a lot of people go out to eat at the local cold snack establishment.
Yeah.
Okay, and the bartender can literally make or break that business.
It's true.
You know what I mean? So, do you tip a bartender if you're in there, grab a soda, like, hey, here's $1?
Yeah. Why not?
Well, I think you've got to.
I think so, too. I mean, with the cost of living and everything, they got to make a life too. And not only that, they're serving you, so.
Well, here's the other thing, okay? I'm glad you brought that up because, us, we don't get too political on this show.
No.
But I listened to Chucky Schumer. You know who Chucky Schumer is?
Oh, Chucky. He's killed the guy that used to kill the economy. I mean,
yeah. Well, Chucky Schumer and Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
And, you don't have to be Democrat or Republican to understand this and feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
feel the burn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's what they said. And we talked about this before the show. And you said you actually heard this too. Okay. Here's what they said. And this is going to, now, just keep your eyes on the road. I don't want people getting too angry.
I know.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay. Well, Mr. Schumer and Nancy Pelosi sat up there on the stand, and they were asked why the tax cuts that Trump wanted to do with not taxing overtime and not taxing
right
the people
like the average bartender.
Yeah,
what we're talking about.
Getting a little bit of cash. You know, what do you call that?
It's a tip.
That's right, the tip.
Yeah.
Okay. What they said was, well, the reason that it's not done yet is, simply because we don't know if taking taxes away from overtime and tips on American families is actually even going to make a difference. We don't know. Please tell me.
It would put an extra $3,000 to $6,000 in every American's pocket. Maybe that would be a good enough reason.
Wouldn't it? I mean, Americans actually being able to spend their own money.
Ain't that amazing, man? How that works.
Well, if you're, and I don't care what side you're on, if you're a politician, right?
Yeah.
And you can put more money into the pockets of the people that are working for that money, why wouldn't it be a good thing automatically?
Should be a good thing. What's the thing that's unpositive about that?
Nothing.
Thank you.
Yes. Here's what I've noticed. Okay, and I was looking at this the other day. We have tariffs, okay? It's not really a tax, but it's a tool to implement change.
It's a charge is what I call it.
Right. Okay. So, and you hear the one side saying how bad they are, but and I'm not saying they're all good because they're not, because they're gonna raise costs at least in the short term. Okay. So it is what it is, but no pain, no gain.
Right.
And we're already in a bad place, so we got to get out of it. Right.
Yep.
So you can do that, and when that happens, people usually buy American more because it's competitive, and I'd rather buy American than Chinese. I think most people would.
Yep.
But what you see happen is the money goes back into the people and the company's pockets over a period of time.
Yep.
Right? Not to the government.
Yep.
Right? Okay, so here's the other side. Now, if you're on the other side, what they want to do is the carbon tax. Now, the carbon tax, which you have to pay for just like a tariff, and they don't like talking about this, it's tax. It all goes to the government. Now, average American working people.
Right.
Men, women, whatever. Would you rather pay the taxes and have the government spend it, or would you rather it go back into the community so it flows through your own pocket and you can spend it? Which is better?
Community. And that's the way it should be.
In your own
community
damn pocket.
And it should go right in your own backyard because these are your people you live with, your neighbors, your friends.
I appreciate that. Yes, our local communities.
Government's not my friend.
Keep the money here. You know what I'm saying? Keep the money in your pocket. Keep the money in your local community. Build it up. Do everything you can.
If a government's my friend, what kind of friends do I need?
Right. Speaking of that, we had a thing, a charity event.
Yeah.
In Springfield over the weekend. Check this out. Running from Yeti race raises money for charity. Okay, wow. I'm all with it, man.
I'm going to do this next year. I think we both agree that
thank you, charity.
Yes. The Crankers.
Yeah,
I was a little late, sorry.
Hey, yeah, it's okay.
But we was in the middle of talking about this race, so.
Yeah, Springfield does have, I do. Next year we need to do this.
I didn't know it was going on this weekend, or I would have done it.
There's actually quite a few of things like this in the Springfield area, and I feel happy. With my daughter and Children's Miracle Network, the things that they did when they do things like this, I like to take part because...
What a great organization, by the way.
Yes, absolutely. Children's Miracle Network is
amazing.
They
do some amazing things.
The people in Springfield, freaking amazing.
Right.
And I shouldn't say Springfield. It's a Springfield area because they service all these things. I feel lucky to be here. I feel lucky to be in an area. Like a lot of people say that...
It's a great part of the country to be in.
It is. Like true Midwestern values, I feel like it really runs through the lifeblood.
It's mixed with a little bit of Southern value.
It is. It is, So it says the running from Yeti charity race occurred Saturday morning in Springfield. People were braving the cold, and it was.
Yeah.
They ran a 5K, 10K, half marathon, or full marathon. Now, could you run any of those at this point?
I think I probably could.
Could you really?
I could really. I've been talking about this lately to you that my health is the best it's been in over 40 years.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good. I mean,
I'm in good shape.
I mean, you're what, 57?
52. 52, as you say, going on 63. But okay. Actually, I'm feeling pretty good.
52 years old, and this is the first time ever you've had a six-pack.
Yes.
Okay.
Noticed it the other day. I'm finally getting a six-pack.
Now, you've kind of cut out soda.
I have, but I still drink Coke like crazy, which I need to lay off. But it hasn't really affected me that much, though.
Do you think it's just that you went back to your blue-collar roots and, the hard work that you do every day?
I think it's just working 6-7 days a week, and it's just...
You don't have time to be lazy. You sit in front of the boob tube.
And just lifting constantly at work and just lifting heavy stuff. I think that's what does it for me.
Well, I think that this is awesome. I think that you're killing two birds with one stone here.
Right.
You give to charity, plus
you're giving back to the community.
You're giving back to the community, and you're.
And what's nothing better to do than give back to the community?
Absolutely,
and the people are where it's at.
Health, man, health.
And your health.
You're right. I mean, okay, I'm going to admit, I probably couldn't run the last three. I'd try the 5K, but that heart attack that took out 25% of my heart.
Yeah,
it kind of did me in for this kind of stuff. It's weird.
Yeah.
When I run and get going to stuff like this now, it's almost like a pressure that you can feel in your chest. But I'll walk it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I'll jog a little bit and I will walk it. So we did last year. With the Children's Miracle Network.
Right.
And that was a blast.
Good.
All the kids came out, it was fun. So, I want to keep doing that. Now, let's flip to the other side, okay?
Okay.
It's National Chip Week. Okay?
Oh, man.
So, Americans are probably the only people that don't look like at French fries like they're a chip. Now, I'm sorry, I'm American. I don't consider French fries chips. Do you?
No, I don't. I put them in a whole separate category.
I do too. What category are they in? Like it's their own, right?
They're potato. Yeah, don't get me wrong, but they're not a chip. They are just basically a slice of heaven.
Oh, I think so too.
I love fries. I think I like fries better than I like chips.
It says to visit your local chippy, go on a chip-themed adventure, which, I mean, you could do. It could be kind of fun.
Right.
Share love with chips. You could get kind of creative.
Oh, yeah.
Chip dip.
Yep.
There's some good ones, don't get me wrong, but French fries to me are just kind of in their own category. And
right.
Here's the other thing. Potato wedges. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the ones that are thin, but they're still tender on the inside.
Oh, yeah.
They
real
got
soft.
Yeah.
And then they get that nice coating.
Well, soft on the inside. I want them crispy on the outside.
I want them crispy, but soft on the inside.
Correct.
Yes.
And I want that batter on them that has a little green flakes in it.
Yep.
And then I want your home-style ranch to dip.
Well, you can have that ranch. I don't like ranch.
Well, what are you going to put on it? I mean, you got to have something on it.
I would just ketchup. I'm a ketchup guy.
Ketchup?
Yep. I'd put my Heinz.
There's nothing wrong with ketchup, but most people, grow out of that at 9. So fish and chips. Okay, it's probably one of the oldest things in the book. And literally, have you ever eaten like traditional fish and chips?
Not Just not homemade, but I've had it like Long John Silver's or something like that, Captain D's or.
Right. Okay. So fish and chips, literally, they just slice up a potato and they throw them salt and pepper.
Yeah.
They throw them in
the batter,
in the batter, and then into the oil.
Yeah.
Where they cook the fish.
It's usually like beer batter. Oh man, I love beer batter. Beer batter fish. Mm.
You know, speaking of that, I heard that this summer there's so many microbreweries here.
Yeah.
That the Cranker crew might be running around and checking out some places. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, did you hear that too?
I've heard a rumor.
Yeah, well, rumors can sometimes be true.
And sometimes they can be false, but we'll find out.
Yes. It's National Eating Disorder Awareness Week this week. And some people do really have eating disorders.
Yeah.
I mean, would you consider the way you were eating a disorder?
The way I was eating, yeah, I would have. Okay, I don't eat like I used to.
Well, you when you first came down here, you were working a lot. And when you did eat, you ate a lot.
Because I was trying some of the goodness here in Missouri.
But you also had a lot of fast food.
Yeah.
And I think that's convenience.
Yeah.
So, hey, it's Eating Disorder Week. I don't know if you know this, but Americans in general are the most out of shape and most unhealthy nation in the world.
I've heard that.
100% facts. It's National Justice for Animals Week.
Yep.
Cornish Pasty Week. But I found this one interesting. It's National Invasive Species Awareness Week. Okay, say that fast. National
Invasive Species Awareness Week.
Okay, so I thought we would just check out what do we got here in the 417.
Be surprised.
Well, okay, here we go. Feral hogs.
Yep.
Okay, now there's not as many here as there is in Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma, but there are plenty here.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we don't have that many of them because you know how much damage they cause? It's in the billions.
Wow.
Per year. Just they root around and they take everything they can. Invasive carp. Okay. We also have snakehead up here. Now, according to everything that I found, snakehead, which is a very good eating fish, but they're invasive and they kill a lot of the, fish that we're supposed to have here. They said that they've only caught one in Missouri.
Huh.
Now, I know that's not accurate, but, according to the records,
Right.
Kind of like, I remember when I first moved here, the bears come here from Illinois. And then if you go to Illinois and you talk to their DNR, they're like, the bears come here from Wisconsin. And then you go to Wisconsin at that time and they're like, the bears come from Canada, And Canada's like, okay, yeah, they do. But, we know. The emerald ash borer, that is a bastard of a bug and kills a lot of trees. It kills ash trees. As a matter of fact, there are parts of the country because of the emerald ash borer that don't have any ash trees left.
Yeah.
There's a weird sort of pigeon known as a rock dove. Okay, have you ever seen the pigeons that have the really shiny purple on the front and green? Okay, that's a rock dove, and they do a lot of damage.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Then we have European starlings. Okay, the hardest and worst part about starlings is they bring stuff into feedlots, and then the cows will eat it and become sick because of it, like little pieces of wire and stuff like that. Did you know that?
Did not know that. Wow.
Yeah, zebra mussels, I think everybody knows that.
Yeah.
They're terrible on the environment. And then crayfish actually can be, detrimental to areas. Like even if you transport them from one part of Missouri to another part of Missouri, they can become kind of bad.
Really?
Yeah. Here it is, snakehead. One was found in Missouri in 2019, and it says these fast-growing, fast-reproducing invasive fish look like a native bowfin, okay, or bowfin or other words, doghead.
Yeah.
Except for the snakehead's actually good eating. So, but, you got to stick with what it is. The spongy moth, okay, bad. It says they're not in Missouri yet, but they will drastically alter the forest if and when they arrive. Learn how to avoid spreading these destructive forest pests. But they say they're not here yet. But See what I'm saying? I mean, do you believe that? Hang on. Put on your conspiracy theory hat for a second.
Okay.
Turn the conspiracy Noah switch on.
All right.
And you tell me that why they'd be warning about spongy moths if spongy moths weren't detected.
Oh, are we moving insects now like we move deer and elk? This makes you wonder. That's a conspiracy.
Well, it is. It is.
It is.
How dare you say spongy moths might be in the millions
But
of
it could
acres
be a
that
Noahist on this one. I don't know.
There's the spotted lanternfly. I've actually seen those.
Yeah, I think I have too.
Yeah, it says it has not been found in Missouri. I'm telling you, I've seen those.
I'm pretty sure I've seen those. I thought I saw one the other day in my house.
Yeah, spotted lanternfly. Now, I mean, insects are very vast and they can
To me,
look
it looks like
but,
what we call a stink bug, right?
Well, it does, except it's colored different.
Okay.
Like, the brown and the tan on the stink bug. Well, this is kind of pink, polka dotted, blue.
I've seen one of them. Yes.
Yes.
I have.
So, unfortunately, some of these things are going to become a reality and we're going to have to fight back.
Looks like we're already dealing with that one, the folks.
So, I mean, okay, the last two that we're talking about, guess what gets them? Snakes. Snakes. Snake ripkin. That's what we need to do. Bring in the snake ripkin to Missouri.
There we go.
Okay. Now, when I was over there in Grove,
Yeah.
you remember how many snakes used to be in that tree?
Oh, yeah.
Springtime came. Okay. When you live in the north, when it gets cold, mice move inside.
Yep.
Okay, but here it's different. They really don't come inside unless it gets super cold.
Yeah.
Until the snakes come out, and then they come inside.
Yeah.
It's just kind of weird. And then the Asian longhorn beetle. I've seen so many beetles down here.
Yeah.
And again, please let me ask, how many different Asian beetles and, Asian bugs do we have? And where are they coming from?
Yeah, especially if they came out of Asia.
What's what I'm saying? If they're
Are we
Asian,
moving them like elk and deer now? Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah,
I'm just a Noahist here, not a conspiracy Noahist.
You can shut the switch off. Yeah. I think the people got it, but you're onto something.
I am.
You know what I mean?
Bum, bum,
like,
bum.
I would like to know where spongy moths came from. Can you look that up? Can you go?
I might be able to.
Let's find out, folks, where spongy moths came from. And if they're, are they in another state? How'd they get here? Or the Asian longhorn beetle? How did it get here? Like, how do you take something like that and bring it to America? Because I'm telling you, nobody has these as pets. And I don't think that they keep them for like feeding lizards or anything. So how does an Asian longhorn beetle end up in the Ozarks?
No.
Does it say where the spongy moth came from?
Europe and Asia.
Europe and Asia. Spongy moth, spotted lanternfly, and Asian longhorn beetle, all from Asia.
They flew over here. I'm sorry, they don't have wings.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it could have been sucked up in a monsoon,
traveled
all the way
traveled
across.
on a ship across.
Well, the Pacific.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, well, I've seen a lot of Asian longhorn beetles that love metal.
Yeah.
Sitting on the ship. They love it because we don't use wooden boats anymore, remember?
That's true.
Yeah, well,
I'm telling you, folks.
It's kind of scary. Speaking of things like that, this is probably the funniest story that I have seen in a long time, right? Like, eggs are super expensive.
Yeah, they are.
And tell me again why.
Because they're a commodity, really, for people.
Well, yeah, but why are they expensive now and they weren't, a month and a half ago?
Because they're taking advantage of the consumer.
Okay, you want to know the truth?
Because of where they killed a lot of chickens.
There you go.
I found it.
Okay, we finally got the records we were waiting for. Miss Fong, remember Fong?
Yeah.
Okay. This Asian lady that worked in the Biden administration decided that there was some avian flu going around.
Yep. So
and to get ahead of it, it was the, what would you call it? Execution day for over 200 million
chickens.
Yeah, 200 million.
Yep. I remember.
Okay. So, I mean, it takes 22 weeks for a chick to be brought up to start laying eggs.
Yep.
Okay, so at the 22-week period, we should see a influx in the production of eggs.
Yep.
And the egg price will slowly start coming down. Because remember, we don't have a weak White House now, so they're not going to let them rip us off. But right now, it's literally supply and demand.
It is.
But
the costs are extraordinary.
Here's the thing. is it really supply and demand, or is it extortion from our own government to make a political foe look bad?
I think it's the extortion.
Yeah, manipulation for sure.
It's manipulation, more than extortion. But
so after we got off last week's show, I actually went and looked up when the bird flu came around.
Yeah.
And in 1997, there was an outbreak in, guess where? Asia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is that funny?
It is.
Okay, what's going on in Asia? And please tell me. I mean, we're talking bugs. I guess a Yeti was found the other day by the Indian government. Okay. What's going on in Asia?
A lot of stuff. There's a lot of things going on.
Like Tibet? I mean, look at those guys.
Yeah.
There's things going on. That's all I'm going to say. So at our southern border, I mean, when you think about things getting smuggled, you think about Yale.
Yeah.
You think about the F word that I'm not going to say that has cost countless American lives.
Yeah.
Human.
Yeah.
Human stuff. What about this? The United States government seized eggs at the border as prices hit highs in the U.S.
Wow.
Since the start of the year, border officers in El Paso have encountered more than 90 people attempting to import eggs from Mexico.
Wow. Sounds like they cracked the case down on the border.
All right. Ozarks family, men and women out there, if you got a few acres.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm telling you, here's an opportunity. Let's go into mob mode. Okay.
Right.
Let's go to the Missouri mob. Or no, let's just call it the Missouri Syndicate.
Right.
No, we can't call it that because there's already a Missouri Syndicate. What could we call it? Something like that. You guys think of a good name and email us at morningcrankers@gmail.com.
Yep.
That's morningcrankers@gmail.com. You come up with it because we are in the perfect area to start a underground egg distribution.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We could literally start a black market for eggs around the country.
We could do an egg run.
Yeah, I mean, the potential's millions.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Just sounds excellent, don't it, guys?
Oh, boy. Okay, It says that U.S. Customs and Border Protection warned border crossers to be aware that raw egg imports from Mexico are prohibited. And as a matter of fact, the CBP, agricultural specialists, have issued 16 civil penalties totaling almost $4,000 linked to attempted smuggling of prohibited agriculture and food products, including raw eggs.
Wow.
I mean,
it's...
How many people do you think go into a Waffle House every day?
Oh, gosh. Thousands.
Okay, now just think about this. They got a 50-cent markup per egg.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
So,
they have to take advantage of the consumer because of the high prices.
I think you're right about that. I literally do. Now, we got a big thing coming up tonight, okay? And this one is important. Go for it and tell me your thoughts on this because they're going to get this in the morning.
Okay.
Springfield and the debutantes and gents that get to decide this tonight.
Yes.
Listen to Greg on Morning Crankers in the morning.
Yes.
What do you think about the Springfield City Council voting on the towing ordinance on Monday?
I call it bull crap. But anyway.
Okay, it's bull crap. Now explain yourself to me.
I kept it PG. The thing is, I've dealt with stuff like this. I know all too well about getting your tow card.
Well, the car towed.
Car towed.
Yeah, tow card.
Tow card. It don't really matter at this point. When you get aggravated.
Here's what I'm saying, okay?
It angers me to see this because I've dealt with this crap.
You just gave me an epiphany.
Yes.
Okay, as we're sitting here, and you said, instead of car tow, you said tow card.
Yeah.
How about this? How about the city of Springfield issue a card?
A tow card.
A tow card.
See, and I was on to something.
You can go up and you can get it, punched.
Yes.
Because what's the next thing? I mean, are they going to start, doing stuff with the homeless here, like taking their coats
you
if
get
they're not
10
registered?
punches, then we're going to have to impound your car.
Yeah, I mean, remember the chief of police said it was a last resort.
Yeah.
But sometimes just being human gets in the way.
It does.
So, I mean, this can be used in a way that I don't think that we really want it used in. What do you think?
I think that this hurts the working class right here.
I think it does, and I think
it affects their way of getting to work and everything. If you take away their one car, that they may only have one car,
right,
and they may depend on that car to get back and forth to their job. How would you feel, Mr. Officer, if you had to go ahead and have that car towed? Really, how do you feel? You're a human being too.
I don't think it's fair to anybody where one person has to register their car and then the other one doesn't. But I think that I believe in the goodness of humanity enough to say that if people could afford to register their cars,
they would have got them registered.
They would, because they don't want to have to deal with stuff like this. So maybe
it's the economy, guys.
Right. Well, I'm saying if you get the tow card,
Yeah.
Okay. How about the city of Springfield set something up for the people that can't afford that are working?
A 10 punch. If they get to their 10th punch and they haven't gotten it taken care of, then there's your slide.
I say it's like 3 or 4, because if they're going to tow it, there should be a monetary allotment for it. So, give us $50 and you don't get your car towed or something. But even that's going to be hard.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the end of 5 tows, the city gives the money back to the people and they go and register their vehicle. What do you think of that?
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that's, especially if someone's trying to make a living, man.
Right.
And you're taking away their livelihood. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying.
According to the Greene County Collector of Revenue, roughly $3.8 million in uncollected taxes on vehicles that haven't been properly registered. So, $4 million, almost here for Greene County. It says, Hosmer says the money should be going to schools. Well, maybe it should be, but
most of the time it doesn't. That's the problem.
That's the problem. And, if you're going to pay this much, and I'm just going to say it's expensive to register a vehicle here.
It is.
I would expect the roads to be better. And it's nothing against crews working on the roads. It's the allotment of money for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. What if someone's got to fix their rear end or front end of their car where they've hit all these potholes that have not been fixed?
Oh,
come on, Springfield.
I'll tell you.
You got to look at this as an issue.
Well, then you look into organized crime. Okay. Now, I happen to come from somewhere that they got rid of all of the garbage companies, and the city decides who to award a contract to for the sole person. So when this happens, what are they going to do? A bidding system on everybody, and everybody gets charged the same amount for all these towing companies?
Right.
Or is the city going to go in and pick one company or 2 companies out of the, the 35, 40 companies that are here and show favoritism and then build somebody else's? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, I'm just saying it's a possibility and it could happen.
It could.
So vote wise, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here Monday morning. We love you.
So thank you for a Fun Day Monday.
Fun Day Monday.